Our parents should have to go
through this.
Right now at 6, they lost their son to an unseen medical condition. Now they're trying to save the next child. The warning from these heartbroken parents to others. Plus,
the buyers really should beware because they really currently do not know what those products contain.
NBC5 investigates CBD oil. Tonight, questions not only about whether the products are legal, but about what's in them, what's being done right now.
And this aspiring young actor is taking his talents from children's health into your living room, his big Super Bowl debut.
You're watching NBC5 News at 6.
Two Arlington parents are living through an unthinkable tragedy after their healthy teenage son died suddenly on the basketball court. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Curtis.
And I'm Meredith Land. Solomon Mason had a previously unknown heart condition, and tonight his parents hope their story and proactive measures by other parents could save another child's life. Here's Jack Heiberger.
Yeah, he was number 34.
Number 34.
His basketball jersey and countless photos of happy times.
Yeah, he was our baby boy.
Help parents Daryl and Tiberius Mason remember the son they lost far too soon.
But we know our son, and just to see him, yeah, he was gone. Yeah.
In the hospital, they watched as their son, 13-year-old Solomon, slipped away. Only moments earlier, the talented athlete had been on the court playing basketball when suddenly, between games, he collapsed.
He did have a couple of sonograms of his heart and an EKG, and it wasn't detected at that time.
Right.
Doctors later determined Solomon had a heart defect that even testing had apparently missed. In recent months, Texas lawmakers have proposed a new law that would require cardiac testing on all high school athletes. But the Masons hope parents will go a step further, testing their children multiple times.
So as a parent, I would say to other parents, just be thorough and follow up again.
Yes.
You know, don't stop.
And perhaps by doing so, the Masons hope it will save a life, preventing other parents from also losing a child.
We're just blessed that we had
him this long.
We had him this long.
Jack Heiberger, NBC5.
And Solomon's basketball team dedicated their game to him Wednesday, and they won. His parents plan to start a scholarship fund in his name.
Developing tonight, Sundance Behavioral Healthcare System says it is bankrupt. That is the mental health group accused of holding patients against their will at its Arlington location. In a bankruptcy filing, Sundance estimates assets of between $500,000 and $1 million and liabilities between $1 and $10 million. Sundance faces 20 criminal charges of violating state mental health codes. It has already surrendered its license to operate.
There are new questions tonight about contributions to Dallas City Council members. This time it is corporate contributions that Councilman Kevin Felder received. Corporate campaign contributions are illegal here in Texas. Felder did not return our request for a comment, but he told our partners at the Dallas Morning News that he would make corrections if necessary. Civil fines or criminal charges are possible for campaign law violations.
Today, hundreds of Dallas students, principals, and community members packed the downtown Omni for the first State of the District address.
I'm just excited, number one, to be here, but then to be able to connect and see the district accomplishments as a whole.
I think it's definitely really good just to see all the programs that the ISD has and just all the diversity.
Dallas ISD Superintendent Michael Hinojosa called for state lawmakers to tackle school finance reform and find a way to distribute more money to economically disadvantaged students and for teachers.
Dallas ISD trustees canceled an agenda item on today's meeting to appoint a replacement for Jaime Resendez. The former District 4 trustee confirmed to us yesterday he has resigned after moving into a new home outside of the district. His term was set to expire in May, and he was not seeking re-election. The board has not yet announced who it is eyeing to replace him, but we will, of course, keep you posted. The Dallas Firefighters Association has sent a letter to City Manager T.C. Broadnax expressing frustration with the city's human resources, payroll, and benefits department. The association says issues with paychecks and benefits have not been fixed. Broadnex calls the issues unacceptable and says outdated technology and software have played a key role. A meeting invitation between Broadnex and association leaders has been extended for next month.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is asking the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to defund Planned Parenthood immediately. Paxton wants no payments made to Planned Parenthood through the state's Medicaid program. Planned Parenthood tells us tonight it is working with its attorneys to respond and says, quote, "We will continue to stand up for our patients' right to choose their health care rather than let Attorney General Paxton make those decisions for Texas women." A political firestorm continues across Texas after the state issued a list of 95,000 suspected non-citizens on voter rolls. It later conceded that list was flawed. A lawsuit has already been filed, and it seems this debate is only getting started. Here's our political reporter, Julie Fine.
Governor Greg Abbott said this week the state should continue its work to make sure non-citizens aren't voting in Texas. But civil rights groups call it a ploy to kick some citizens off the voter rolls. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins is our guest on Lone Star Politics this week.
What we want is an accurate list from them for us to look at where they go fix all their mistakes before they send us a list, because it looks like right now that this is just completely a political maneuver to pass some more laws that will make it harder for American citizens to vote.
How Judge Jenkins says the elections office will move forward on the issue. Also on Lone Star Politics, freshman state senator Nathan Johnson wants to close the health care coverage gap in Texas by putting the question to voters. But first, he has to sell his colleagues on the idea of Medicaid expansion.
Back in 2015, only 19 states had expanded Medicaid. Now 36 of them had. We've got years of data. So what we have now that we didn't have back then, which gave people a lot of concern about expanding this program, we now have data showing that it's working across the United States.
How he says he can get two-thirds support in the Republican Texas House and Senate. We'll have a big discussion on property tax reform as well. Join Dallas Morning News political reporter Gromer Jeffers and me right here for Lone Star Politics, Sunday morning at 8:30.
Thank you, Julie. Long lines like these in North Texas that have plagued DPS driver's license offices are a hot topic in Austin. DPS is requesting an additional $420 million in funding to increase its number of offices and employees. A spending plan in Texas and the House there would provide $200 million more in funding for new employees and would transfer driver's licenses management to the DMV.
Highway 121 in Grapevine, right near Bass Pro Drive, the overpass, will close for tonight for bridge construction, and it won't reopen until 6 o'clock Monday morning. That is just north of DFW Airport. You will definitely want to find another way or plan for delays. Starting tonight at 10, the ramp that connects northbound I-35E to the Dallas North Tollway will be closed until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Drivers will have to take the Oak Lawn exit, then get on the tollway just before Maple Avenue.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta is looking beautiful ahead of the Super Bowl, while we'll all have our eyes on the game on Sunday.
There is one commercial you should definitely watch out for. It's an ad for Children's Health that features local kids, including one with big acting aspirations. Noel Walker met him today.
How many people have played the improvisation game freeze tag? So here's the deal.
At North Texas Performing Arts in Plano.
Let's go to the mall. Okay.
Acting isn't just a class.
Your brain's already doing it.
It's a calling.
Acting was just kind of a thing I always thought was cool my whole life.
At 14 years old, Aiden Braswell is both acting student and working actor. That's him in a commercial for Children's Health, where he's been a muscular dystrophy patient his whole life.
Very excited and nervous at the same time.
That's because his first acting gig will air during the Super Bowl.
I don't even know how. I guess lucky. I was just lucky, I guess.
I think it was in that hallway right there that he was filmed.
Carrie Kaiser is Chief Marketing Officer at Children's Health. She said the hospital group wanted to showcase the spirit of patients.
We're here to make life better for children, and it's really easy when you can draw inspiration from kids who just don't let this get in their way.
The Super Bowl commercial will be the kickoff to a Kids Rule ad campaign that Aiden hopes will make viewers smile.
They are just so nice to me and make me feel like I'm a kid there and stuff.
Acting like a kid who has no limits.
That's a big hat.
That is a big hat for my big head. Cheated?
Unless it's an autograph you're after.
No, not yet.
Noelle Walker, NBC5.
Making us so proud, the Kid Rule commercial is a regional ad. It's a one-time only spot that will air after the first half, before the halftime show.
I can't wait to see it.
Cutest thing ever.
Yep, you know it.
Making us proud. All right, last night we showed you how buying CBD oil over the counter could get you charged with criminal drug possession in Tarrant County.
It's illegal, and until the legislature changes that, it's going to continue to be illegal.
Now, state lawmakers may take action.
I would say that it's very muddy.
Could new legislation help clear up the confusion? And why one state representative says, buyer beware until something is done. NBC5 investigates deeper into CBD. Next.
It's going to warm up. You may think winter is over. Don't think that. I'll explain why coming up.
And did you miss out on tickets to George Strait's big show in Fort Worth? You have a second chance. Those details just ahead.